The coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic has been felt worldwide and across Australia. Canberra is not immune from its extraordinary social and economic consequences. These impacts have affected everyone in our community in some shape or form. However, vulnerable groups in our community are particularly susceptible to extreme disadvantage during these times. The Australian Multicultural Foundation has generated this web series as a one-stop shop of information relating to Canberra-based support services available during the pandemic. It is our hope that this video and our interactive fact sheets will connect you and your family to support services that are relevant to your needs. Whilst Australia has been effective in reducing numbers of COVID-19 cases, this is not the time to be complacent. It is important that we as a community continue to uphold and keep informed of social distancing measures relevant to each state and territory. This is also a time for unity and not a time for discriminatory behaviour in the Canberra community. The misconception that any one race is carrying the virus or is to blame for the virus is not okay. The ACT government has stated that any form of racism, discrimination or vilification is unacceptable and can be reported via the ACT Human Rights Commission or ACT Policing. If you think you've contracted the virus, contact the following coronavirus helplines: National Coronavirus Helpline, Translating and Interpreting Service. If you wish to seek medical attention, please refer to the Department of Health website or your state or territory health department website to see a list of GP respiratory clinics in your state. The ACT government has put in place a range of economic and community funding measures to ensure relief and support to individuals and businesses in the territory. Most importantly, the ACT government has provided further relief to vulnerable populations in the Canberra community, including residential tenancy relief, a halt on increased public transport fees, and $7 million in funding towards a community support package, and $2 million to support non-profit organisations to deliver further mental health and community support. For further detail on these packages, please visit the ACT government website, now displayed on your screen. Canberran service providers and community groups have generated a range of local initiatives to support vulnerable persons in the community. A few key service providers delivering much-needed support to refugees, vulnerable migrants, international students and homeless persons in Canberra are Canberra Relief Network, which is the most wide-reaching local initiative in Canberra during the COVID-19 pandemic. This United Care Kippax-led initiative has brought together major service providers, including OzHarvest and Food Bank, to provide hampers to those most affected by COVID-19. The CRN has advised it can help vulnerable Canberrans, such as casual workers, international students, other vulnerable migrants, including refugees, those isolated due to COVID-19 infection, carers of individuals with COVID-19, disability, health challenges, or chronic illnesses. If you believe you fit this criteria or know someone who does, please ask them to call 1800 43 11 33. Queanbeyan Multicultural Multilingual Centre. The Queanbeyan Multicultural Multilingual Centre has launched a COVID-19 health, social and economic support program, mainly for refugees, vulnerable migrants and international students in the ACT regional New South Wales areas. This program includes emergency relief, accommodation support, hygiene support centres, grocery drop-off and more. The Queanbeyan Multicultural Multilingual Centre is still open and can be contacted via the number displayed on your screen. The centre requires those seeking support to call in advance. MARS, the Migrant and Refugee Settlement Services. MARS has launched the Emergency Relief Program, which assists people in dealing with their immediate crisis situation by providing financial and/or material aid, such as food vouchers and bus tickets. A case officer can also refer clients to relevant services. MARS can be contacted via the number on your screen. Apart from these three main COVID-19 related programs for vulnerable Canberrans, other charities, community organisations and service providers across Canberra can also be contacted for support. These organisations, groups, provide a range of continued support for vulnerable Canberrans, including refugees, asylum seekers and vulnerable migrants, including international students. The Australian Red Cross Asylum Seeker Assistance Scheme, Turbans for Australia, Helping ACT, Multicultural Youth Services, Companion House, Canberra Region Coronavirus Mutual Aid Group. The main symptoms of COVID-19 include fever, coughing, sore throat, fatigue and shortness of breath. COVID-19 can be spread through coughing, sneezing or touching contaminated surfaces. To reduce the spread of COVID-19, Australia has implemented social distancing restrictions. Some of these restrictions vary between each state and territory. Good social distancing practices include keeping a 1.5 metre distance from others, only leaving your home for essential shopping or work, and self-isolating for up to 14 days if you believe you've come into contact with someone who has COVID-19. Fines of up to $8,000 apply to ACT residents if they break social distancing rules. This video is supported by the Australian Multicultural Foundation and funded by the Australian Government Department of Social Services.